Tax for beginners. Are you wondering what the heck your taxes are? Don't worry, we're going to break down everything for you. In this video, we will show you how to do your taxes in less than 10 minutes. You'll be able to easily deduct what you owe, pay your bill, and even find deductions without a problem. It's quite a bit easier than you think. So, let's get started! But before you learn about tax, pay attention to the big red subscription button. As soon as you click it, you will be taken to the wealthy side, the life you deserve, where you'll find hundreds of videos. These videos contain the answers to almost any question you may have. There are also daily updates, so if you want to stay tuned, remember to turn on notifications. What is tax? Tax is a compulsory and statutory amount that you have to pay to the government based on your income. If you earn money through work, you'll pay tax on it. If you make money from investments, you will also have to pay tax on your earnings. In general, tax is a financial charge levied by the government on an individual or business to raise revenue and provide services to its citizens. The government uses taxes to fund various services like healthcare, infrastructure, and education. They may provide social security benefits like pensions or unemployment insurance to people who fall ill or need help with basic living expenses. There are different kinds of taxes that can be imposed in different ways. Here are some simple ones to help you get the main idea. Number 1. Income taxes. This is the most common type of tax, and it's levied on all income that you earn in any way, including wages, salaries, and self-employment income. This tax is usually calculated as a percentage of your income and is payable by individuals who are eligible for tax credits and deductions, such as the Basic Personal Amount or BPA. It can also apply to companies if they receive an annual corporate turnover or corporation tax receipt, or if they've registered for VAT. Number 2. Property taxes. This is a tax that's levied on property owners based on how much land or building they own or control. It's usually paid yearly, but it can also be paid monthly, depending on the rate at which the local council charges them. Number 3. Capital gains taxes. This is a tax paid on the proceeds from the sale of assets, such as property or shares that have been owned for more than 1 year. Number 4. Inheritance taxes. This is a tax that's levied when an inheritance passes from one person to another. You pay inheritance or succession taxes when someone dies and leaves behind a taxable estate, a person's total assets at the time of their death. This includes real estate, bank accounts, cars, art, and other items that have a cash value. Number 5. Sales taxes. Sales taxes are paid by the buyer when they buy something. These taxes tend to be more narrowly targeted and aimed at increasing the revenue of state or local governments. Some people think it's okay to dodge taxes because the government doesn't need all the money it takes in. But that's not true. When governments don't collect enough taxes, things like schools and roads can get worse. So everyone must pay their fair share of tax. Tax deductions for beginners. When you are starting, it can be difficult to know how much you will owe in taxes. Luckily, there are ways of reducing your tax liability. One of the easiest ways to reduce your taxes is to claim a tax deduction. Tax deductions reduce the amount of money that you owe in taxes. Tax deductions are deductions from your taxable income. This means that you pay less in taxes. Tax deductions are helpful for people with low incomes who need assistance to pay their taxes. There are two main types of tax deductions: business and non-business. Business deductions are deductions that you can claim as an employer or self-employed person that relate to the running of your business. Non-business deductions relate to running your personal life, such as paying for medical or basic living expenses. Tax deductions can be used in several different situations. You can get deductions for things like education, healthcare, and even your mortgage. Take an example of a business owner who might want to deduct any expenses that go toward the day-to-day operations of the business. For example, phone bills, employee salaries. Another common situation where tax deductions might be necessary is if you own a home or have children. When you are filing your taxes, you can look through the forms and see which deductions may apply to you. How to do your taxes. Step 1. Gather your documents. Before you start, make sure you have all of your documents. You may need to gather some personal documents like your driver's license, passport, birth certificate, and social security card. You might also need to gather your tax documents if you're self-employed, receive a lot of income from selling something, or have another type of business. You need your W-2 form, your 1099 forms, and your 1040-ES forms. If you are self-employed, you need to keep track of your business income and expenses. If you have investments, you also need to keep your 1099-B forms and your 1099-DIV forms. If you have other sources of income, like a side hustle, you need to keep track of that as well. Step 2. Decide how you want to prepare your taxes. To file your taxes, you need to decide how you want to prepare them. There are many ways you can file your taxes, and each has its advantages and disadvantages. There are 3 main ways people prepare their taxes: filling out paper forms, filing electronically, or working with the tax professional. It's up to you what method you use. If you need help, there are plenty of tax apps and software options available today. Enjoying till now? Please hit the subscribe button now, like, share, and comment. And yes, keep watching. Online do-it-yourself software. This is the easiest and least expensive way to file your taxes. Several online services will help you fill out your taxes online or through an app. The downside is that you need to understand the tax process and know what you're doing. If you make a mistake, you could end up with a larger refund or owing more money. You need to have access to a computer and internet, and you have to have basic knowledge about taxes. Tax preparer. If you want more help with your taxes, you can hire a tax preparer to file them for you. Tax preparers have training in taxes and can help you find credits, deductions, and other things that can reduce the amount of tax you owe. Paper filing. Paper filing is generally easier than using a computer to file your tax return because you can physically see where you have entered the information. Paper filing also helps you keep track of receipts and other documents that support your tax return. Once you have filled out all the paper forms, you can simply mail them. There are several advantages to paper filing, including the fact that it's free and accessible. As long as you have all the necessary forms and documentation, paper filing is easy and convenient. But there are some disadvantages to paper filing as well. For one thing, paper filing requires more time than using a computer. In addition, paper filing can be difficult if you're not organized or don't keep good records. Step 3. Find out your credits and deductions. Credits and deductions are ways to reduce the amount of taxes you owe or increase the amount you get back. Credits are used when you have no tax due. They can be refundable or non-refundable. If you have a high deduction, you may not owe any taxes. But if you have a credit, you will just get that amount back in your taxes. But how exactly do you figure those things out? And how can you make sure you're doing it right? Well, there are a few different ways that you can go about finding these answers. First of all, you can use a service like TurboTax or TaxCut. These are both very popular options because they make it easy for people to file their taxes online. And since they're both powered by the IRS, they're able to give out a lot of information about your tax situation. In addition to that, they can also help you figure out any credits and deductions that you might qualify for. So, if you're looking for an easy way to find out your credits and deductions when filing for taxes, then these services should be on your list. Step 4. Figure out if you owe tax or are due a refund. If you have kept track of everything, you can easily know whether you owe tax or are due a refund. But first, you have to understand what your taxable income is. Your taxable income is the amount that is left after you subtract all your credits and deductions. You can use an online calculator to figure out whether you're due a refund or owe tax by entering your personal information. Even if you don't owe tax in the current year, you may still owe the IRS when filing future returns. Furthermore, be sure to keep track of your simple interest and any other credits or deductions that accompany them, as they could impact your tax liabilities in future years. Step 5. File your tax return. This is the last step, and it's pretty easy. Just log into your account, or create one if you haven't already, and follow the instructions. When filing your taxes, the government has a set of rules that you have to follow. If you break one of these rules, you may end up owing more money or even getting fined. The Social Security Administration, or SSA, has a website where you can record your personal information, such as your name, address, and social security number. You can also get tax-related notices, including IRS notices about deposit and refund schedules. The SSA also has online services for filing a tax return, paying taxes due, and processing payments. The IRS also has a website that links directly to the Electronic Federal Tax Payment System, or EFTPS. This system allows taxpayers to make electronic payments with their credit cards or bank accounts. The quickest way to do taxes. It's true, tax season is a huge hassle, and a lot of people just don't have the time to sit down and file their taxes. But it doesn't have to be so complicated if you use tax software on your phone. There are many tax filing apps out there, but they all do essentially the same thing. They take your tax info and allow you to file your taxes quickly and easily. There are apps for all kinds of different platforms: iPhone, Android, Mac, and Windows, and they're all pretty easy to use. So, in short, if you have a little bit of time each night after work and want to get your taxes done as quickly as possible, a tax app is the way to go. Did you enjoy the video? Please hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment.